Yes, it's John G. Sutton here. Tales from the Jails. I'll tell you, I transferred from Wormwood Scrubs to Manchester Prison, Strangeways, in late 1976. And when I got there, they allocate you a set of keys. You see, those keys remain yours during the time that you work in there, so that you go in and you have a little tally. I'll show you my tally here. This is a little brass tally that you take with you. You take it on your keychain and you take it off and you drop it into the chute, which goes down into the where all they kept the keys. As you go into the gate, yeah, the big gate on Southall Street, big oak and iron gate, yeah, where the two towers are, those Gothic horror towers, yeah. Go through that little wicket, the wicket door at the side, yeah. On your left, that's where they kept all the keys, and you dropped your tally into there, and they at the other chute drop your keys down. You took your keys out and put your keys onto the keychain. Now your keychain, you had two keys. One was for the cell doors and one was for the general doors, you know, the main gates through the prison, so that when you got through the prison to get into the main part of the prison, there was a secured sealed door with a lock. You had the big key for that. The small key was for opening the cell doors. And this is my tally. Oh, can you see that? Hey, can you see? Oh, there we are. Yeah, 66. Yeah, my brass tally from Strangeways jail. Yeah, and that's my cat badge. You've seen the cat badge before, yeah? That went round the jails with me all the time I was in the prisons. That's my number 66 was my keys, yeah? And I'll drop my bloody cat badge on the floor now. Yeah. I'll tell you a story about keys. There was a doctor that came in, and he was really quite absent-minded. And he came in one day, and he used to, I don't think he was pretending to be absent-minded. I think he was quite absent-minded. So he put his tally into the keys thing, yeah. And the staff, just for a joke, instead of handing him his keys, yeah, which he had keys as well, they dropped his tally back through the other side. He picked his tally up, looking at his tally thinking, am I coming or going? Seriously. One day that doctor, he was in the and he came back into the bin out. He got handed his keys in, got his tally, went through the gates, came back in, said, "Where have I parked my car?" as if the staff knew where he'd parked his car. The other thing that you carried with you, apart from your keys, you had a whistle. I don't know where my whistle's gone. It's around somewhere. But you also carried a truncheon. Have you seen the truncheon on mine here? Yeah, truncheon. Yeah, yeah. Get it leather strap. Yeah, you wear the leather strap around your hand like that if you're going to use it. Because if you don't have it around your hand like that and somebody snatches it away from you, yeah, they snatch the truncheon away from you and use it on you. I must say I only used this once. There was a guy kicked off and he grabbed hold of the metal railings, and there were three of us pulling at him and he wouldn't let go of these metal railings. So I got this actual truncheon out and just gave him a little tap on the end of his fingers. You know, you let go then. But once you let go, then he kicked off, and it took three of us to grapple him. Because, I mean, people are saying, listen, I hear it on here, comments all the time. You wouldn't do that on a one-to-one basis, you know. You wouldn't face Paul Sykes on a one-to-one. You'd have no chance, you know. He'd wipe the floor with you. It's not a competition, you know. I wasn't going in there fighting for the heavyweight championship of Strangeways. I was going in there to earn a wage. I've got a wife and child, you know. At the time, I still have got a wife and child, except she's now 46, I think, yeah. But at the time, I had a wife and child, and I still got a wife, yeah. Surprisingly enough, you know, I mean, this is not a joke, it's absolute God's honest truth. I think it was my 35th wedding anniversary to my wife, and somebody gave her a medal. It said for valour, yeah, above and beyond the call of duty. Like a bloody George Cross or something like that, a Victoria Cross, yeah, for being married to me. I'm not that bad. Well, maybe. I mean, you don't know the half of it. Yeah, so those truncheons that they issued you with, they were pretty lightweight, you know. If you actually had to use them on an angry man, yeah, which I've seen staff do it, the truncheons just weren't up to the job. They broke off about here, snapped off. So if you gave somebody a fair whack on the head, bang, yeah, the bloody truncheon snapped. I've seen a couple of them snap on big bastards at the scrubs. But this, I have to tell you, is not a standard issue HM Prison truncheon. This truncheon is made of a wood called lignum vitae, yeah? And it used to belong, this very truncheon, I've got my dad's number on it, it's my dad's police truncheon, yeah? You might just be able to make out his number, it's on there, 1772. His number, it's round about here somewhere, yeah? 1772 is his number, and when he was a police constable, he was issued with this at the Lancashire Constabulary. So my dad carried this around with him for a number of years before he joined the Criminal Investigation Department from Prestwich in Manchester. He left there and went to the industrial town of Leigh, which is near Wigan. They spell it Leigh, Leigh. And at Leigh, where we were moved, and I was nearly 9 years old when we moved there, and they didn't speak in a standard English as they did in Prestwich. Prestwich is a very middle class area, and we lived right in the midst of all the Jewish families. Our next door neighbour was a bank manager. The man who lived across the road owned the Ford dealership for the entire Manchester area. You had about 3 garages. Lived directly opposite us. Drove a nice Ford, of course. Yeah, and there were many other friends that we had there. They were friendly with us, yeah. Mr. Ballantyne had been a pilot in the First World War. He had memorabilia on his things, and the actor Jack Warner, who played P.C. Dixon of Dock Green, evening all. Yeah, that's him, Dixon of Dock Green. It goes like this, do you remember it? In fact, I'll sing it to you. I'm just an ordinary copper, patrolling my beat around Dock Green. There you go, a little song at the end of this. Yeah, so he used to come and visit Mr. Ballantyne because they'd been in the Army Flying Corps together. It wasn't called the RAF. And there were pictures of Jack Warner and Mr. Ballantyne in the Army Flying Corps. Because Mr. Ballantyne used to go into his house, you know, he used to play the piano and stuff like that. Really, really nice guy, really nice area. So when we got to Leigh, where my dad was from being a police constable in uniform to being a detective, he was moved to the town of Leigh. And when we got there, of course, I went to the local school, and it wasn't anything like the school at Prestwich. Oh no. We had music lessons at Prestwich. We had singing lessons. We had a choir. I was in the choir for a while. Yes. Sing along, John, as you can hear. Yeah. I know you like it. Tell me more. Yeah. But at Leigh, they didn't speak like that. They didn't speak politely. And I couldn't understand them. They said things like, "Nah, lad, what ta doing? Just want fate? Just ta know." I didn't understand them. And I said, "I'm very sorry. I can't understand what you're saying." "Having a laugh? Ain't that bad? Get the head kicked in, lad." Of course, it was a foreign language to me. And because I was asking them to speak clearly, they thought I was taking the piss. But I wasn't. And we ended up fighting. I went to see my dad. I said, we can't have this, you know, that they pick it on me and my brother. He said, well, you go into school and you have to sort it out yourself. I honestly did believe that my dad would come in and tell them off. He didn't. He just said, go back and stand up for yourself. Took me about 2 weeks to flatten the bastard lot of them. Seriously, I didn't want to do. I really didn't. I was a gentle soul, you know. I liked poetry and piano music. You know, I still do. I certainly didn't like getting my head kicked in down back streets of Lee. Anyway, bollocks to it. Here I am. Time passes, and I've still got me dad's strunging. Tales from the Jails. Do subscribe. My name's John G. Sutton, by the way. Google me. Have a look. There's loads of stuff on there. Evening all.